to commence on March 13. K Kavitha there flanked by other leaders of the party who have in fact joined this dharna, and the BRS claims that there will be other opposition leaders as well, including Sitaram Yechuri of the CPM, Sanjay Singh of the Aam Aadmi Party, a delegation from the Shiv Sena's Uddhav Thackeray faction, Akali Dal's Naresh Gujral, PDP's Anjum Javed Mirza, Dr. Shami Firdaus of the National Conference, Sushmita Dev, Member of Parliament from the Trinamool Congress, KC Tyagi of the JDU, Dr. Seema Malik of the NCP, Narayana K from the CPI, Pooja Shukla from the Samajwadi Party, Shyam Rajak of the RLD, and Kapil Sibbal. These are some of the confirmations that BRS claims they have of leaders who will be joining the protest, which is being led by K Kavitha. K Kavitha, remember, has spoken exclusively to India Today ahead of her interrogation by the Enforcement Directorate and has claimed innocence, that she has nothing to do with the Delhi excise policy, which has now been withdrawn. Remember that the investigation net of the agencies that are probing this excise policy has gone as far as Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Punjab as well. So K Kavitha there now beginning that hunger strike, that one-day hunger strike demanding tabling of the Women's Reservation Bill in Parliament. Aishwarya Paliwal is now joining me live from Jantar Mantar in Delhi. Aishwarya, tell us a bit more about what the demands are that are being put forth by K Kavitha, who of course claims the support of 16 other opposition parties.
Well, Paulvi, I'll come to what the main demands of K Kavitha are, but just to show you the kind of atmosphere that one can see here at Jantar Mantar, the statues of Savitri Bai Phule and also the statues of Rani Lakshmi Bai. All these statues have been put in place and all these have been done to make sure that the topic remains the Women Reservation Bill. That's what she wants, and she wants that in the upcoming session of the Parliament, which begins on the 13th of March, this is something that should be spoken about, and she also wants that a law should be made so that there is a Women's Reservation Bill. But apart from that, one thing that we are also expecting, K Kavitha to speak about, and that's what she did in her press conference also yesterday, was the fact that she will touch upon the kind of cases that have been filed against the opposition leaders. We are expecting opposition leaders, Sitaram Yechuri, to be on the stage, Paulvi, in just a couple of minutes from now. Almost 15 opposition parties have got together, and we are expecting all of them. So the plan, obviously, to bring all the parties together is Women Reservation Bill, but from the looks of it, it seems like this also can be a precursor for the big opposition unity before 2024.
Okay, so this definitely is a political statement as well, Aishwarya, that these opposition parties are making. While on the face of it, of course, the BRS seems to have chosen an issue which is, of course, of national significance. The fact is that this also, very importantly, comes a day before K Kavitha appears before the Enforcement Directorate and, puts forth her replies vis-a-vis the allegations that have been leveled against her as far as the excise policy case is concerned. What are the other opposition parties saying concerning those allegations which have been leveled against the Aam Aadmi Party, against the BRS as well?
Well, if you talk about the Aam Aadmi Party, Paulvi, the BRS and the Aam Aadmi Party at the moment are sitting in the same boat because they have been called, the leaders of both the parties are being questioned for the alleged liquorgate scam that took place in the national capital. So obviously, one of the first parties to join hands with K Kavitha is the Aam Aadmi Party, and we will see the leaders from the Aam Aadmi Party coming on to the stage. But the kind of non-political color that K Kavitha is trying to give, because understand, Paulvi, it's very important that a message is sent out to the central government and also to the Enforcement Directorate, because this is something that the Enforcement Directorate will, definitely think about, because the day before, when she has been called by the ED, she said she could not appear on the given date. The new date is now 11th, which is tomorrow. So obviously she said she had some commitments because of which she could not come. So just in case they make this, protest too political, then it will also raise questions about her, about ED calling her and she's saying that she has some commitments. So all those things need to be balanced. We are expecting parties to come and trickle in. Aam Aadmi Party, we are also expecting Shiv Sena. We are also expecting NC leaders. One party which Polemi at the moment is missing is the Congress Party. Congress Party has said that they will not be taking part in this protest. So that's something which is significant. We are expecting K Kavitha to start speaking from the stage in just a couple of minutes. Call me.
Okay, so K Kavitha is likely to speak over there as well. But as far as the opposition is concerned, Aishwarya, it's interesting to note that the Congress is not seemingly joining this protest. Has the Congress said or given any sort of reason as to why they don't want to be part of this dharna, which is basically demanding the tabling of the Women's Reservation Bill in Parliament?
Well, Polemi, one of the things that K Kavitha did yesterday was a scathing attack on Congress Party and saying that Congress Party is no longer a national party. She went ahead and said that it has become a regional party. Now, these kind of pot shots that K Kavitha has taken have not gone down well with the Congress Party. Also, not speaking about, she did speak about Sonia Gandhi and said that it was in fact Sonia Gandhi who's been pushing time and again, for the Women's Reservation Bill. But that olive branch that was extended by K Kavitha was too late according to the Congress Party. And we have also seen how Polemi over the past few months, one thing that has happened is the fact that Congress Party has not been coming together in the, when all the opposition parties are coming together. The letter also, which was written a couple of days back to the Prime Minister, there was no sign of the Congress Party there. So obviously Congress Party is towing a certain line. We understand now that an invitation to come onto the stage was extended to Congress Party. Congress Party at the moment is staying away from this protest, but a significant number of other parties, 15 opposition parties, including the likes of NC, Shiv Sena, JDU, all of them are now coming together and they will be sharing the stage. Sitaram Yechury, we are expecting him to reach the stage and to start speaking in just a couple of minutes. Just to tell you exactly what's happening, the garlands have been put on all the tall leaders of our country, from Rani Lakshmi Bai to Savitri Bai Phule, and on the other side are, there's a bust of Mother Teresa too. And on the other side are, just to make sure that this remains a very politically neutral protest and the focus remains on women reservation. That's why we are seeing the burst of Mother Teresa also, being brought here. So the idea is to keep on speaking about women reservation and then here and there just to sprinkle the fact that agencies are being used. That's the allegation, Polemi, that is being given by the opposition parties, that, the Enforcement Directorate, the CBI, is now being used to nitpick opposition parties. That's one of the major grievances why we are seeing all the opposition parties coming together today to speak on this stage. Polemi.
Right. Also, Aishwarya, this also in a sense sets the stage for a face-off between the BRS and the Bharatiya Janata Party at the centre, given the upcoming elections in the state of Telangana by the end of the year, and of course the very crucial Lok Sabha elections of 2024 at a time also that K Chandrasekhar Rao is looking to expand his national footprint.
Well, this is what K Kavitha has been speaking about, and this is what even KCR has been pointing to, is the fact that ever since he's shown his national aspirations, that's the time when the CBI and the ED's gaze fell on him and his family. And also, you're right, Polemi, the election in Telangana will take place by the end of the year. The session is ending in January 2024. So, by November, by December this year, we will see the state elections taking place. The party and KCR specifically has been speaking about the fact that all this is being done by the BJP because they want to hurt the party and they want to hurt the leaders. But, Polemi, this is different. The case for which K Kavitha is being called is the alleged liquor scam. There's a South cartel that the ED and the CBI has been speaking about. They're speaking about the South cartel who then got in touch with, the former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia, and then some kickbacks were being received. So all those things, so these are two separate issues that, the ED and the CBI are talking about. But yes, one thing that has has been done by K Kavitha is that when she has to go to ED, before that she's making sure that all the political parties, all the opposition leaders are standing with her, and that's the reason why we are seeing this kind of grand gesturing being done by K Kavitha. The plank obviously is the Women's Reservation Bill, but Paulami, this is this is the reason why we call politicians a smart cookie, because this is what she has done. She's been called by the ED. She will go and answer the questions of the Enforcement Directorate, but before that sending out a very clear message, not just for herself but even for her father, who now obviously has big national ambitions and is looking at the big 2024 elections.
Right. Also on images right now, CPM General Secretary Sitaram Yechuri, who's now joined this dharna, which is happening at the Jantar Mantar in Delhi. 16 opposition parties are likely to join this protest, which is being led by the BRS from the front by their party MLC and daughter of Telangana Chief Minister K Chandrasekhar Rao. K Kavitha there greeting Sitaram Yechuri as he arrives at the protest site. All of these opposition parties are going to put pressure on the central government to introduce the Women's Reservation Bill. Remember, it's been a while since the Women's Reservation Bill was passed by the Rajya Sabha, but it was never voted upon in the Lok Sabha. The Women's Reservation Bill guaranteeing 1/3 of seats within the Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies to be in fact reserved for women, but that would happen rotationally in a way that such reservation of seats would happen only once every 3 general elections. Why the hitch? Why this hasn't in fact been taken up, while most parties and everyone in power has espoused the cause of women and their representation in the legislative? It remains to be seen if the central government responds to this. Aishwarya Paliwal continues to be live with us from Jantar Mantar. Again, Aishwarya, just to give us a sense of the scenes that you're witnessing around you at Jantar Mantar, what is the crowd looking like? When are the other opposition parties also likely to join K Kavitha?
Well, Paulami, the other parties, are likely to join by about in the next half an hour to 45 minutes. We are expecting all the tall leaders to be present here. National anthem, Paulami, it will be sung. And you are seeing Sitaram Yechuri. A very personal invitation was sent by K Kavitha. She had gone and personally invited him for the protest. Both of them, sitting side by side. And now everyone is standing, Paulami, for the national anthem. We are expecting K Kavitha to speak shortly after the national anthem gets over. Other leaders, from the Aam Aadmi Party and all the other leaders are expected to reach the stage and to speak from the stage in about almost half an hour to 40 minutes from now. We are showing you the visuals, Paulami.
Right.
Everyone is now standing for the national anthem. K Kavitha along with Sitaram Yechuri. K Kavitha and Sitaram Yechuri to now speak about the Women's Reservation Bill, because that is what they all have gathered here for. But it also
Okay, so there are opposition leaders now who are joining K Kavitha as she begins her one-day hunger strike. Aishwarya has been reporting that hunger strike is in fact likely to commence shortly and will go on till about 4 p.m. this evening. Aishwarya, in a larger sense as well, politically, how do you read this? Because the Women's Reservation Bill is an issue which has been brought up by opposition parties every once in a while since it was sent into cold storage a few years ago. for the BRS to lead with this issue just ahead of the second half of the budget session in Delhi commencing. How do you read into this politically? Is this the BRS trying to expand its national footprint, reach Delhi and challenge the BJP from Delhi itself? Does this suggest something about 2024, Aishwarya?
Well, Paulme, you know, there's a saying in Hindi, ek tir se do nishan marna. That means you're trying to kill two birds using one stone, and that's exactly what the BRS party is trying to do. We are seeing the daughter of the Telangana Chief Minister, KCR, sitting along with Sitaram Yechuri, and she, in fact, has been able to, you know, bring together 15 opposition parties. That is something which Paulme Congress party has not been able to done so far, though there have been calls by various leaders, be it the Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, who has been asking the Congress party to come to the fore and to become the glue that will keep all the opposition parties together, but that is something that the Congress party has failed miserably to do. So K Kavitha, in fact, has been able to gather all the parties together, even though if the topic is Women's Reservation Bill, this shows that the opposition parties are trying to rally around some of the common points. Women Reservation Bill was in the cold storage, and this also is, shows the acumen, the political acumen of KCR and his daughter. You know, they are trying to bring everyone together, saying that we'll speak about the Women's Reservation Bill, which they will do. Yes, because that is the priority, that is the main plank on which all the parties have come together. But they will also speak at length, and that is what we are seeing. Different political parties and leaders speak about. They are talking about how ED and the CBI, Paulme, are being used. We have seen how, Manish Sisodia was supposed to go to court today. He was last evening, arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. Arvind Kejriwal time and again has been speaking about the fact that he believes that both his ministers, be it Satyendra Jain, be it Manish Sisodia, both of them are innocent, and this is just a witch hunt by the BJP. We are seeing the other leaders also, be it Shiv Sena, or even if we talk about the NC, all those leaders have been talking about the fact that the agencies at the moment are being used, and there's a witch hunt that is being done by the central government, and all those things we will speak.
Okay, Aishwarya, just stay on with us. We're getting more breaking news that's coming in right now. This concerning, of course, the larger Liquorgate scam. Now, the Enforcement Directorate is likely to seek 10 days custody of Manish Sisodia. Remember, he was arrested in the liquor policy scam case by the Enforcement Directorate yesterday. He is in judicial custody. He is currently lodged in Tihar jail. But right now, the Delhi court, after the Enforcement Directorate sought a production warrant from the Delhi court, the Delhi court has directed that production warrant be issued. So Manish Sisodia will be physically produced at 2 p.m. today in court. So Tihar jail authorities will now receive this production warrant. They will bring Manish Sisodia from judicial custody, from jail to court today at 2 p.m. as the Enforcement Directorate has sought 10 days custody. They're likely to seek 10 days custody in court when they appear today. They arrested Manish Sisodia, they claim, in court this morning at about 6:20 p.m. yesterday. This is concerning their investigation, which looks specifically at the money trail, the alleged money laundering as far as Delhi's former liquor policy is concerned, that liquor policy which was implemented and subsequently withdrawn. Manish Sisodia so far was first arrested by the CBI, then sent into judicial custody after the CBI did not seek an extension of his custody. Now the Enforcement Directorate is likely to seek 10 days custody. Okay, cutting back across to Jantar Mantar, K Kavitha speaking.
महिला आरक्षण बिल 33% आरक्षण का बिल 27 साल से पेंडिंग में है। बहुत सारे महिलाओं ने, बहुत सारे राजनीतिक दलों ने महिलाओं के साथ खड़े होके कोशिश उन्होंने किया है कि हिंदुस्तान में एक चर्चा हो और आरक्षण भी मिले। मैं आज उन सारी महिलाओं को सलाम करना चाहती हूँ जिन्होंने भी कोशिश किया है महिला बिल लाने का। 1996 में जब पहले बार देवेगौड़ा जी ने महिला आरक्षण बिल इंट्रोड्यूस किया है तो ये ऐसे ही नहीं हुआ है। उससे 10 साल से 15 साल से पहले बहुत सारे हमारे बहनें, उनका जो एजिटेशन था, उनका जो आंदोलन था, उसी के वजह से 1996 में बिल इंट्रोड्यूस करने का वो एक प्रयास हुआ था। और वो आंदोलन में मैं सारे उन महिलाओं को धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ, सैल्यूट करना चाहती हूँ, चाहे वो बृंदा कारक जी हो, चाहे वो सोनिया गांधी जी हो, चाहे वो जयंती नटराजन जी हो, चाहे वो सुषमा स्वराज जी हो, चाहे ये वुमेन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जितने भी हैं, पान राजपूत जी होने दो, हिंदू अग्निहोत्री होने दो, बहुत सारे ऐसे महिलाएं हैं और बहुत सारे ऐसे अनगिनत महिलाएं हैं जिन्होंने आंदोलन किया है, उन्हीं की वजह से आज ये चर्चा है। मैं बहुत आज अपने आप को सम्मानित महसूस करती हूँ कि ऐसे एक मुद्दे को जो हमारी हिंदुस्तान की आधी आबादी को आगे ले जा सकती है, ऐसे मुद्दे को आगे ले जाने का अवसर आज मुझे मिला है। मैं अपने आप को बहुत सम्मानित महसूस करती हूँ और आज मैं हिंदुस्तान के सारे हमारे बहनों से वादा करती हूँ कि जब तक महिला आरक्षण का बिल नहीं आएगा तब तक ये हम पथ नहीं छोड़ेंगे, ये आंदोलन करते ही रहेंगे, आंदोलन चलाते ही रहेंगे, क्योंकि महिला आरक्षण से ही हिंदुस्तान का भला हो सकता है, हिंदुस्तान का डेमोक्रेसी का भला हो सकता है। और आज एक अच्छा अवसर है, एक हिस्टोरिक अवसर है जहां पे फुल मेजॉरिटी का सरकार है। तो हम इस मंच से इस भारतीय जनता पार्टी सरकार को हम डिमांड करते हैं कि महिला आरक्षण बिल आप इंट्रोड्यूस करें। हम सारे दलों को एक करने का कोशिश करेंगे, हिंदुस्तान के सारे महिलाएं एकजुट होने का कोशिश करेंगे और आपका पार्लियामेंट में भी मदद करने का कोशिश करेंगे। आज आप ये मंच पे देख रहे हैं, काफी पॉलिटिकल दलों से अपने रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स यहाँ पे आए हैं। रेस्पेक्टेड श्री येचुरी जी आए हैं, उन्होंने ये पूरा अनशन का स्टार्ट किया है, इनॉग्रेशन किया है। और हमारे एनसीपी के नेशनल स्पोक्स पर्सन यहाँ पे हैं, समाजवादी के पूजा शुक्ला जी है, किसान आंदोलन से भी है और बहुत सारे हमारे बीआरएस के महिला मंत्रीगण हैं, एमपीस हैं, उन सबको भी मैं प्रणाम करती हूँ। और पूरे दिन भर काफी सारे राजनीतिक दलों से बहुत सारे रिप्रेजेंटेटिव भी आएंगे, उन सबका भी मैं धन्यवाद करती हूँ। बस यही एक मुद्दा है जो हम महिलाओं को राजनीतिक स्थल में, क्षेत्र में आगे ले जा सकती है, तो हम इसके लिए पूरा कोशिश करेंगे। और इस कोशिश में, इस आंदोलन में साथ देने के लिए आप सबका शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ। आज हमें यहाँ 10 बजे से लेके 4 बजे तक का समय मिला है, तो हम लोग अनशन पे बैठे हैं और ये बस शुरुआत ही है। यहाँ से लेके आगे चल के पूरा देश भर में आंदोलन चलाते रहेंगे। जब तक महिला आरक्षण बिल नहीं आएगा तब तक हम पीछे नहीं हटेंगे। थैंक यू सो मच। जय भारत। तेलुगु में मैं एक लाइन आपको बताना चाहती हूँ। तेलुगु में हमेशा बोलते हैं, ధరణిలో సగం ఆకాశంలో సగం అందుకే అవకాశంలో కూడా సగం కావాలని చెప్తాం। धरती में हम आधे हैं, आसमान में आधे हैं, इसीलिए अवसर में भी हमें आधे मिलना चाहिए। ये नारा के साथ हम आगे बढ़ेंगे और हमारे हक पाके रखेंगे। थैंक यू। जय भारत।
So that is of course K Kavitha speaking at Jantar Mantar today, saying that she will be sitting on a peaceful hunger strike till 4 p.m. this evening, demanding that the government reintroduce the Women's Reservation Bill in Parliament this second half of budget session. News coming in right now. The Enforcement Directorate seeks production and ED remand of accused Manish Sisodia for 10 days. Manish Sisodia will be produced now in court at 2 p.m. today before the court, where the Enforcement Directorate will be asking for 10 days of custody. That is the latest that's coming in. The Enforcement Directorate approached the Delhi court this morning seeking production warrant for Manish Sisodia. Remember, he was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate last evening. He is in judicial custody. He is lodged in Tihar jail as we speak, but the Enforcement Directorate wanted to produce him physically in court as they sought his custody. That has now been granted by the court. So Manish Sisodia will be brought by Tihar jail authorities to the Rouse Avenue court this afternoon at 2 p.m. where the Enforcement Directorate will seek 10 days custody of Manish Sisodia in order to grill him further vis-a-vis the alleged money trail as far as the liquor policy of the Delhi government is concerned. The liquor policy which subsequently stood withdrawn by the Delhi government. Remember, Manish Sisodia was arrested by the CBI first. The CBI then, of course, grilled him sought a couple of extensions, but in the last instance in court, they did not seek an extension, because of which Manish Sisodia was sent into judicial custody. Interestingly, Manish Sisodia's bail plea also comes up before the Delhi court today. But with the Enforcement Directorate tightening its noose around the former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, it's very unlikely that he will, in fact, walk out of jail anytime soon. My colleague Munish Pandey is now joining me live at the moment. Munish, just to break this down for us, what does this mean? What has happened in court this morning, and vis-a-vis the bail plea of Manish Sisodia, which is also going to come up before the court today?
Only as Manish Sisodia was inside the Tihar jail under judicial custody. Yesterday he was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. So as per the process, they approached the court and the court has given a production warrant, which means that Tihar authorities have been asked to produce Manish Sisodia. The time has been given 2 p.m. today. It means that Manish Sisodia will be brought from Tihar jail to the Rouse Avenue court at the designated PMLA court, and later the Enforcement Directorate will be asking for 10 days of custody. The Enforcement Directorate has also told the court that Manish Sisodia was placed under arrest at 6:20 p.m. last evening. He was informed about the grounds of his arrest. He has signed the arrest memo. So in overall, it means that Manish Sisodia will be brought to court this afternoon at 2, and later on ED will be arguing for his custodial interrogation, which means that they will be asking for his custody, and initially they are asking for 10 days of custody. It will be up to the wisdom of the court that how many days of custody is granted to Enforcement Directorate of Manish Sisodia. But also, Paulami, what is going to be important, that his bail application in the CBI case will also be heard by the same court at 2 p.m., which means that there are two parallel matters. First, the ED will be arguing for the custody, and later the bail application will be heard. But as you pointed out, Paulami, it will be nearly impossible for Manish Sisodia to walk out of jail even if it's granted bail in the CBI case, and ED would like to keep Manish Sisodia in their custody for at least next 10 days.
Okay. Munish, stay on with us. Shrishti Ojha is also joining us over the phone line right now. Shrishti was in court this morning when the Enforcement Directorate sought a production warrant of Manish Sisodia. Shrishti, if you can bring us up to speed with what happened in court, the arguments?
Well, yes, following the Enforcement Directorate, as was expected, has moved the Delhi Rouse Avenue court today, seeking production warrant to produce Manish Sisodia before the court today. As we know, Manish Sisodia is already in judicial custody in the CBI case that has been filed against him with regard to the alleged Delhi excise policy scam. Now, legally, it's a requirement that if an accused is in jail and if ED wants him to be produced before the court and seek his custody, a production warrant has to be sought before the court, which is why ED counsel argued before the court that a production warrant is needed, and they also want the court to remand him to 10 days custody of ED to investigate him further. The court had also asked ED counsel if the grounds of the arrest have been told to Manish Sisodia as is required under the Act. And the ED counsel has informed the court that grounds of arrest have been written down, and also Sisodia was informed of all the grounds of arrest. He was arrested yesterday at 6:20 p.m. After that, the court noted that an application has been moved by the ED under relevant provisions of PMLA and the Criminal Procedure Act, and that after being arrested by the IO, he is required to be produced before the court within 24 hours. And that's why ED has requested that a production warrant be issued to the jail authorities, so the IO can seek ED custody of the accused. Thereafter, the court has directed that a production warrant be issued to the jail, be directed to be issued in name of the jail superintendent. We're talking about the Tihar jail where Sisodia is currently in JC. And they've also directed that he be produced today at 2 p.m., which is also when his jail hearing in the CBI case is listed. So even if he gets some relief from the court in the CBI case today at 2 p.m. when the bail hearing comes up, if his custody is granted, if ED is granted his custody, there will be no relief in any way for Manish Sisodia as far as today is concerned.
Okay, so Manish Sisodia has not much to look forward to if we understand what is likely to happen in court today as far as his own bail plea before the court is concerned. But those two parallel matters are likely to come up in court today at 2 p.m. the Enforcement Directorate seeking 10 days custody of Manish Sisodia and Manish Sisodia's own bail plea in the CBI matter coming up before the Rouse Avenue Court as well. Shrishti, stay on with us. Munish Pandey, our colleague, continues to be live with us. Munish, again, as far as the Enforcement Directorate's case against Manish Sisodia is concerned, what is the Enforcement Directorate likely to do over these 10 days that they're seeking custody of Manish Sisodia?
Well, Paulamy, the Enforcement Directorate is probing this case under Prevention of Money Laundering Act, which means that they will be focusing on the financial trail as far as this entire alleged excise policy scam is concerned. Now, as far as the ED is concerned, remember, ED was the first agency to mention this part in the charge sheet that Manish Sisodia, who was then the Deputy Chief Minister of the National Capital, he had destroyed at least 10 phones. So there was one allegation that he was involved in destruction of evidence. The second important allegation against Manish Sisodia was that he was coordinating and working very closely with Vijay Nair, one of the prime accused in the case. They have also said that Manish Sisodia is the main conspirator of this entire scam. As far as the financial trail is concerned, what the ED has alleged that they have a money trail of almost 100 crore rupees. They have a financial trail that the South Group gave a kickback of rupees 100 crore to Vijay Nair and other Aam Aadmi Party leaders. So they have linked Vijay Nair with Manish Sisodia. They have linked Vijay Nair with Arvind Kejriwal, and ED has gone on to an extent of saying that even at one occasion, the Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, also spoke to one person over a FaceTime call. That is, he spoke to Samir Mahendru. So overall, the ED case is little different from the CBI case. CBI was only probing criminal conspiracy, destruction of evidence, and whether there was any corruption or not. But as far as ED is concerned, their primary focus is going to be on the money trail, but also they have already mentioned about Manish Sisodia's role in their charge sheet. They have mentioned that he was involved in destruction of evidence, he was the main conspirator, and they will be focusing on the part where this has been alleged that one of the draft copy of excise policy, the second draft copy, which had the experts' opinion, including the top legal experts of the country, that file went missing, and ED is alleging that Manish Sisodia is aware of that missing file. Apart from that, the profit margin of 12%, why it was raised, he will be asked about that part.
Okay.
Also, the part where this draft copy was leaked to the South Group much before, 3.5 months before it was implemented. So all these questions will be asked to Manish Sisodia over the period of next 10 days.
All right. Munish Pandey and Srishti Ocha, thank you so much for joining us with all of those details. So Manish Sisodia will be produced in court today at 2 p.m. The Enforcement Directorate will be seeking 10 days custody. We're slipping into a very short break. Stay tuned. News and updates will continue on the other side of this break.
Captain Shaliza Dhami. She's a qualified helicopter pilot with over 2,800 hours of flying experience. And now she's the commanding officer of a frontline missile squadron near the Pakistan border. Group Captain Shaliza Dhami created history on 7th of March 2023 by becoming the first female officer in such a combat role in Indian forces.
If you talk about commanding a unit, command doesn't require a gender. It's not based on gender, it is a capability. If you're meeting rescuers, you will be given that opportunities. And as you have said in the opening statement, if I have so many firsts with me, so people have given me the opportunity.
And she is not alone. Captain Shiva Chauhan of Fire and Fury Sappers became the first woman officer to be operationally deployed in Siachen in January. After completing arduous training at the highest battlefield of the world, she is now deployed in Kumar Post, ready to safeguard world's highest and deadliest battleground, the Siachen Glacier.
So it is really a great experience and great opportunity for me to grab it, sir, to be the first here in Siachen, sir. And moreover, I feel that from now onwards, more and more women officers will be coming here, serving this terrain, and many might get inspired to join the Indian Army, sir.
From the western front to the eastern flank, Nari Shakti stands guard in Indian defence, flying high in the air. Flying free with the hawk's instinct to guard the motherland. Flying Su-30 fighter jet as weapon system operator is the first Indian woman Flight Lieutenant Tejasvi of the Indian Air Force, along with other women pilots who's ready to respond to any eventuality. These women are smart, savvy and super confident and deployed at the China front. Indian Air Force's women superpower at the Eastern Front are a band of young women.
Being part of any actual operation is what every fighter pilot in the Indian Air Force trains for, because that's where we would get to show our mettle. Our pilots from various bases in the eastern sector are ready to respond in case of any eventuality. We're always ready for any kind of tasks and challenges that may come upon us.
The WSOs or WISOs are specialist officers required to fly in the rear cockpit of multi-role Su-30 fighter aircraft and handle the sensors and weapons to be fired by the aircraft at enemy targets.
You are launching these prestige brands, but there are lots of smaller companies which are coming out with interesting products. Particularly, I mean, if you go to Goa, there are these craft gins which are coming up. They are not huge in size, and we saw that Greater Than Gin was quite a success before Diageo bought a stake in that company. Have you considered the option of picking up some of these smaller brands, or does it make more sense for you to build rather than buy?
Radico, like personally, and Radico, like we've always believed in innovation. And even if you see our history, when we launched our first brand in 1998, we are the only company which has organically created all the brands. Today we have 5 millionaire brands, and in the coming year, hopefully, we are going to add 2 more millionaire brands. So we'll have total 7 million cases brands in our portfolio. So we believe in organic creation rather than buy. So for us, our passion is to create brands with a unique standing in the market and a very different character. So we would not be looking at acquiring brands. In fact, we will be looking at creating newer segments and newer brands.
The one question which keeps coming up is for Radico, for investors of yours, and they have done quite well with your stock over the last many years, is that as you do this expansion, and you are clearly on a significant expansion mode, could the balance sheet get stretched once again? Because in the last few years, you've actually cut down your debt, which was a problem area, but now no longer is. But as you keep on adding capacity and launching new brands, are your current cash flows enough to drive that expansion, or would you need to load up that balance sheet once again?
If you see, in 2016, we had a peak debt of 960 crores. And last year, our debt was about 160. And in fact, our working capital also, we pumped in about close to 400 crores from internal accruals. So we are totally deleveraged. And going forward, we have doubled our capacity because the demand is so high. So we have increased the capacity in Rampur. We have put a greenfield plant in Sitapur, which would be one of the largest plants in Asia. And going forward, I don't think so debt would be an issue, because in the next 3 to 4 years, we'll be again debt free, because the kind of cash flows the company will throw and the kind of things we are seeing in the future. So debt we don't see as an issue at all.
It's lights, camera, action on the biggest poll battle of 2023. And the BJP is doing everything they can to retain power in Karnataka. The double engine of Karnataka Congress, DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah, are doing everything they can to oust the BJP. But wait. Haven't we forgotten something? The JDS, aka the Kingmaker. Welcome to the State of War, Karnataka.
Watching India Today.
Good morning and a warm welcome to India Today. I'm Paulami Saha. These are the headlines we're tracking at the top of this hour. Ahead of Enforcement Directorate drilling, K Kavitha stages mega protest demanding Women's Reservation Bill. Nearly 16 opposition parties lend support to Kavitha.
हिंदुस्तान में महिलाओं को राजनीतिक क्षेत्र में भी भागीदारी मिलनी चाहिए.
Trouble continues to mount for Sisodia. ED seeks 10-day remand of Manish Sisodia. Sisodia is to be produced in court at 2 p.m. today. BJP attacks Rahul over his remarks in the UK. Anurag Thakur accuses Rahul of spewing hate against India. Vice President Dhankar criticizes foreign interference statement. After staging protests, Pulwama widows detained at midnight from outside pilot's residence. BJP says Congress insulting brave hearts. Defection Nataka peaks in Karnataka. Actor turned Neta Sumalata likely to join BJP. BJP MLC Puttanna dumps party for Congress. News coming in right now. Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal's cryptic attack on the central government and the BJP. Hiranyakashyap had considered himself as God. He made many efforts to stop Prahlad from the path of God, committed atrocities. Even today, some people consider themselves as God. Prahlad, who served the country and children, was put in jail, but they could not stop Prahlad then, nor will they be able to stop him now. So that is the tweet in Hindi which Arvind Kejriwal has put out, where he's basically said that there will be attempts that will be made to stop Manish Sisodia, but they couldn't stop Prahlad then, nor will they be able to stop him now. So he's equating Manish Sisodia with Prahlad. He's referring to folklore, and he in fact has tweeted, and we're transcribing over here the Hindi tweet that the Delhi Chief Minister has put out. Hiranyakashyap had considered himself as God. He made many efforts to stop Prahlad from the path of God, committed atrocities. Even today, some people consider themselves as God. Prahlad, who served the country and children, was put in jail, but they could not stop Prahlad then, nor will they be able to stop him now. So this is, of course, the line that the Aam Aadmi Party has been maintaining, that Manish Sisodia was doing good for Delhi, for its school-going children in terms of the education department that he held previously, but it was the central government that was wary of the accolades that Manish Sisodia was earning for his job as Education Minister of Delhi, that the central government then was jittery and decided to allegedly arrest Manish Sisodia in a case which he has nothing to do with. Remember, only yesterday, 2 new ministers were inducted into the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi, including Atishi Marlena and Saurabh Bhardwaj. Atishi now holds the education department, but both new ministers have said that they're only, in fact, holding on to ministries until Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia are cleared by the justice system. Amit Bharadwaj, my colleague, is joining me live this morning. Amit, tell us what Arvind Kejriwal has tweeted and what is he intending to say?
Well, Paulami, you have Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal trying to draw parallels between Hiranyakashyap and Prahlad, mythological story to that of the present political context in the national capital. In a way, in a very cryptic message, he has dubbed Manish Sisodia as the Prahlad of the modern times, of the present time, and the centre and the BJP as Hiranyakashyap, where he's saying that, even Hiranyakashyap had committed the crime of considering himself a god, and certain people are committing a similar mistake in the present times as well. As for Mr. Kejriwal, Hiranyakashyap, as in the mythology, he had tried to stop Prahlad. The similar manner, the present day's Prahlad, that is Manish Sisodia, is being stopped, and injustice is being done to him by the present day Hiranyakashyap. So clearly Arvind Kejriwal, taking a leaf from the mythology, trying to draw parallels, saying that injustice is being done to Manish Sisodia, and he goes on to say that despite all attempts, they will not be able to stop Manish Sisodia. Now remember, Paulami, last evening there was a tweet by Arvind Kejriwal as well when Enforcement Directorate had arrested Manish Sisodia in the excise policy case. He had said that all attempts are being made by the central government to make sure that Manish Sisodia remains behind the bars. Aam Aadmi Party believed that Manish Sisodia could get some relief from the court, from the Rouse Avenue court today, where the bail hearing in the CBI case, in the excise policy case, was supposed to happen today. So the Aam Aadmi Party principally believed that Manish Sisodia had enough grounds to get bail from the Rouse Avenue court as far as the Central Bureau of Investigation is concerned. Right. On the other side, the Enforcement Directorate has been roped in. ED has arrested Manish Sisodia. So clearly, Aam Aadmi Party is trying to draw a narrative that all efforts are being made by the centre to keep Manish Sisodia behind the bars. Back to you.
Right. Amit, thank you so much for joining us with all of those details. News coming in right now. State of war Karnataka hits top gear. Karnataka Congress's biggest unity flex ahead of polls. Amid Congress infighting for chief ministerial face, DKS and Siddaramaiah join hands and appeal to voters. DKS and Siddaramaiah are battle ready for Karnataka polls. So the Congress, they're staging a united front as far as their top two faces are concerned in the state of Karnataka. DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, former chief minister of the state, will in fact appeal to the voters as a united front. Listen in.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಯಕರುಗಳೇ, ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರುಗಳೇ, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ 3 ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿಗಳನ್ನ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಘೋಷಣೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಒಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಬೆಳಕಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ, ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ 2,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು 10 ಕೆಜಿ ಅಕ್ಕಿಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಘೋಷಣೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಲುಪಿಸಬೇಕಾದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ ಪಕ್ಷದ ನಾಯಕರು ಯಾವ ಊರಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಲಿ, ನಾಳಿದ್ದು 11ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಪ್ರತಿ ಗ್ರಾಮಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಡುವಂತ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನೀವು ಕೂಡ 11ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ತಪ್ಪದೆ ನೀವು ಪ್ರತಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಕನಿಷ್ಠ 50 ಮನೆಯಾದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಲುಪಿಸಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಮತ್ತು ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಕೂಡ ಆ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಸಿಗ್ನೇಚರ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಮನವರಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷದ ವತಿಯಿಂದ 3 ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿಗಳನ್ನು ಘೋಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮನೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹಂಚತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಾಳಿದ್ದು ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ತಾಲೂಕಿನಲ್ಲಿರಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿರಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕನಿಷ್ಠ 50 ಮನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಈ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮನೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ತಲುಪಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರು ಕೂಡ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮನೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ತಲುಪಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Raj is now joining me live from Bengaluru on this. So the Congress, they're making an attempt to showcase to the voter in Karnataka, Sagai, that all is well within the Congress family.
Absolutely, and both the leaders DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah coming out and releasing a video stating that they'll go out and reach out door to the people, issuing the guarantee card. And yes, Congress is trying to show the unity, because whenever the BJP is trying to attack Congress, they say that Congress is a divided house. Now they have shared a video together saying that they are together. They will go ahead and try to get the support of the people by campaigning together and by creating an awareness amongst the people about the manifesto promises which has been made by the Congress, and they will try to issue the guarantee card to the people. DK Shivkumar will reach out in Ramnagar district, and Siddaramaiah will reach out to people in Dharwad. So they will try to issue these guarantee cards to the people door to door, and probably this is one of those campaign where the Congress is trying to woo the voters in the state of Karnataka.
Right, Saga, it's all very well, of course, to showcase this united front, but is all well within the Karnataka Congress unit, especially between DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah?
See, there is always a race between the Chief Minister, and this is not the first time that we have witnessed in the state of Karnataka. Even in the past, we have seen that there was a fight within the Congress party for the Chief Minister's post, whether it is Siddaramaiah, Parmeshwar, whether it is Mallikarjun Kharge or Siddaramaiah, whether it was Bangarappa and Veerappa Moili. So there are several other leaders where there is a parallel powerhouse in the Congress, and even in the last time in 2013, when Congress got the full majority, even DK Shivkumar threw his hat in the CM race, saying that he is also in the CM race along with Siddaramaiah and Parmeshwar. And he has also spoken to the media stating that he is also one of the front runner to become the Chief Minister of Karnataka. And this is not something new. Yes, there is a procedure which has been followed in the Congress, that the legislators will decide who will be the legislative party leader. But yes, there is a race of Chief Minister's post within the Congress. But as of now, the Congress is showing all is well. They'll put up a united fight and bring Congress back to power in the state of Karnataka.
So is it unlikely, Sagar, that the Congress will go with any kind of chief ministerial face in these elections?
Now, so far, the Congress have maintained that they will go ahead with the united leadership. The Chief Minister will be elected with the procedure, as I told you earlier, that after the election process gets over, if at all, if Congress gets the majority, the legislators, the MLAs will decide who will be the legislative party leader, and accordingly the decision of Congress will be taken that who will be leading the government and who will be the Chief Minister of Karnataka. So they say that they will try to repeat the same procedure which has been done in the past and elect the Chief Minister of Karnataka.
Okay, so the Congress is unlikely to go with one single face into these Karnataka Assembly elections, but the BJP definitely is cashing in on all of these reports, Sagai, of infighting within the Karnataka Congress unit. Sagai, are you able to hear me? Okay,
yes,
we seem to have lost that audio line with Sagai, but Sagai, they're telling us what's going on within the Karnataka Congress unit, especially after that video which has been released by DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah, saying that on the 11th of March, they will go out to the voters of Karnataka, giving them Karnataka Congress guarantee cards.
It's lights, camera, action on the biggest poll battle of 2023. And the BJP is doing everything they can to retain power in Karnataka. The double engine of Karnataka Congress, DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah, are doing everything they can to oust the BJP. But wait. Haven't we forgotten something? The JDS, aka the Kingmaker. Welcome to the State of War, Karnataka.
Suspense over actor turned Neta Sumalata joining the BJP. Sumalata, an influential figure in Karnataka politics and an independent MP, is likely to join hands with the Saffron Party today. She has a strong support base among Kannada-speaking voters and could boost the BJP's chances in Mysuru. However, the BJP suffered a setback with MLC Puttanna dumping the party and joining the Congress. Puttanna came down heavily on the BJP, claiming that the current government is the most corrupt government in fact he has seen in 20 years of being a Neta. Meanwhile, Karnataka Congress staged anti-Puttanna protests, asking its top brass not to give him a ticket to contest the post. The Congress also stepped up its attack against the Bommai government, saying that Puttanna jumped ship because he was suffocated and stifled by the hashtag 40% Sarkar and its anti-youth, anti-teacher policies.
He has also said that once his resignation is accepted, he has said that it should be immediately accepted and sent it to the chairman of the Legislative Council. He will like to help Congress party, the new Congress government, build a new architecture of education, a new architecture for our young and children, where everybody has equal opportunity and independent thought process. So I welcome his courageous and bold move, and I'm sure the next Congress government that will be constituted with blessings of over 6.5 crore Kannadigas will be enriched by his experience.
Okay, so it seems like it's the season of defections in Karnataka as we speak. Sagai Raj, my colleague, is joining me over the phone line right now. Sumalata likely to join the BJP, Puttanna to join the Congress party. What are both camps saying? As far as Sumalata is concerned, Sagai, how big an advantage is this for the BJP?
See, if you notice, Old Mysuru region, especially in the Mandya, apart from Narayangoda, who had been a turncoat...
Okay, Sagai, apologies for cutting you short right now. We're cutting across live to Hyderabad House in Delhi, where the Prime Minister is speaking, along with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. Okay, those images coming in right now from the forecourt of the Hyderabad House, where the two leaders are meeting. Those images coming live from Delhi. Remember, yesterday the two leaders in fact started their day on a light note when they were at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, where they watched the first few minutes of the game, the fourth test match between India and Australia. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is on a 4-day visit to India. Those images of the two Prime Ministers coming in from Hyderabad House in Delhi, where the formal bilateral dialogue between the two countries and diplomats on both sides are to begin very, very shortly. Earlier, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese paid his tribute to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, at Rajghat this morning. He was also briefly in Mumbai as well. The bilateral dialogue between India and Australia is to begin very shortly. Later today, the Foreign Secretary will be briefing about the big takeaways from that meeting between India and Australia, strong partners as far as the development agenda between the two nations is concerned. In fact, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has called India a top-tier security partner for Australia. So that is the importance and significance that Australia is according to its bilateral relationship with India. In fact, Anthony Albanese said that his visit of India reflects his government's commitment to place India at the heart of Australia's approach to both the Pacific and beyond. He, in fact, made those remarks after boarding India's first indigenous aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant, in Mumbai. My colleague Akshay Dongre is joining me over the phone line right now. Akshay, give us a sense of the significance of this visit. There have been some moments of watching cricket. Then, of course, the visit to INS Vikrant at Hyderabad House, of course, it comes down to the brass tacks.
Well, Paulimi, as far as India's strategic ties are concerned, Australia plays a very, very crucial role. It is a country which is located at a very strategic point in the Indo-Pacific region. It is a country that is also, like India, threatened by the rising Chinese hegemony in the region. There have been attempts by China to limit the freedom of navigation in the South China Sea, and that has been a concern for all the Quad nations. Both India and Australia are very close partners, be it strategic ties, business ties, or for that matter, cultural ties as well now. And that is what that is the sense we got from this visit of Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister of Australia. The two leaders also will be meeting on the sidelines of G20 Leaders Summit. They have met in the Quad Leaders Summit. So India and Australia are forging closer ties. And that has been a tension for China. China has been dismissing the relevance of Quad. However, India, US, Japan, as well as Australia, all these four countries have one shared goal that in the Indo-Pacific region, as far as trade is concerned, security of these nations are concerned, all these nations maintain close ties. From what we saw, on the INS Vikrant, India's first indigenous built aircraft carrier, there was a guard of honor that was accorded to Anthony Albanese, first foreign leader, first foreign head of the government to receive such an honor, and that has showed the significance of how when it comes to maritime affairs, when it comes to strategic affairs, both of these nations are very closely tied. They are strategically placed, both India and Australia, to counter the Chinese threat in the region, in the maritime sphere, and that is what we are seeing, be it the cultural ties through a cricket match, be it strategic ties, security ties through the visit of Anthony Albanese on INS Vikrant, him being also inside the LCA naval variant. That is also one of the key projects of the Indian security establishment. And now what we are seeing, Anthony Albanese meeting the Prime Minister, and after this he will also be meeting. He will be calling upon the President of India. And Anthony Albanese is set to return tomorrow at about